Good evening and welcome to News Tonight, your daily roundup of the day's major news and events from India and across the world. I'm Tina Jha. First, the top stories. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu outlines Prime Minister Modi's new India story to the diaspora in Panama City. Says never before has any Indian Prime Minister spoken about the country from a position of strength. Asserts that India is not in the race with any country in its global outreach. Ganga River will be 100% clean by December next year, promises Union Minister Nitin Gadkari. Says government is identifying pollutants. 309 industrial units on the riverbank shut down. A day after Justice Chelameswar writes to him, Chief Justice Deepak Mishra calls for meeting of the Supreme Court Collegium tomorrow. Collegium likely to reiterate name of Uttarakhand High Court Chief Justice K.M. Joseph for elevation to the apex court. High voltage campaigning ends for Karnataka polls. Votes to be cast on the 12th of May for 223 out of the 224 seats in the assembly. Counting of votes to take place on the 15th of May. And US President Donald Trump to meet North Korean leader Kim Jong-un on the 12th of June in Singapore. Says on Twitter that both leaders will try to make it a very special moment for world peace. Let's begin with all the news and updates from Karnataka. Campaigning for the Karnataka Assembly election ended today. 2,655 candidates, including 219 women, are in the fray. There are 1,155 independent candidates in the election. 4 crore 96 lakh voters, including 2 crore 44 lakh women, will cast their votes to elect the next government. Over 15 lakh people are first-time voters in the 18 to 19 age group. Out of 224 seats, voting for 223 seats will take place on the 12th of May. Election for one constituency has been postponed following the death of one candidate.
We have taken all precautions. There will be more than 1,25,000 various police forces on the ground. All sensitive places. We have ensured that there are at least either half a section of central forces, or there is some micro observer, or there is webcasting. This year we have deployed 585 companies, almost more than 40,000 people from central forces. People should not be afraid. They should come out in large numbers.
And on the last day of campaigning, leaders of all political parties made a last gasp effort to sway the voters in favor of their party candidates. BJP President Amit Shah took out a massive roadshow in Badami, the seat from where Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is contesting. The BJP has fielded B. Sriramulu from the seat. Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Raman Singh held a roadshow in Bengaluru's Hebbal, while his Madhya Pradesh counterpart Shivraj Singh Chauhan campaigned in Mysuru. BJP President Amit Shah exuded confidence that his party will win at least 130 seats in the 224-member Karnataka Assembly. And Congress leaders also campaigned extensively on the last day. Party President Rahul Gandhi said he was confident his party will emerge as the single largest party in the May 12 polls. He also hit out at the BJP for resorting to personal attacks rather than focusing on key issues in Karnataka. In fact, our correspondents Kriti Mishra and Ravindra Singh Shoran are joining us live from Karnataka. Both of them have been extensively covering the pre-election time in Karnataka. A very good evening to both our reporters. Kriti, coming first to you. The high voltage campaign ended in the state today. Now the stage is all set for polling. Give us a sense of the political atmosphere prevailing in Mysuru, where you are at the moment, and also, the poll preparedness of the election poll panel.
Well, Tina, poll drums have fallen silent, and of course, political parties pulled all stops and went full throttle to turn the tide in their favor. As far as the issues are concerned, there were important issues like the agrarian crisis, scarcity of water, underdevelopment, law and order situation. But we saw the poll discourse was dominated by vitriolic statements and vitriolic attacks. The Congress is absolutely confident that it would retain the state because, remember, it is extremely crucial for the Congress party because after 2014, they have lost most of the states where they govern. Of course, the BJP has been claiming that after Karnataka results, Congress would be reduced to PPP, which is Puducherry, Punjab and Peripheral.
Yes.
But the Congress is absolutely confident that it would retain the state. The BJP also sounded extremely confident, saying that it would cross the magic number of 112 seats and would get actually more than 130 seats, while the JDS has reiterated on several occasions that it will not be the king maker, but rather it will be the king itself. But remember, most of the pre-poll surveys have hinted at a fractured mandate. And in that case, in a triangular contest where the victory margin is expected to be slender, even a swing of 2 to 3% of vote could ensure a victory for any political party. So now the ball is in the court of the people of Karnataka. And as far as the poll preparedness is concerned, the Election Commission has made elaborate arrangements so that free and fair polling takes place. Over to you, Tina.
All right, Ravindra, coming to you. You are in Shimoga. What are the election issues dominant this time around in the place?
Tina, Shimoga is the constituency of the former chief ministers and the chief minister candidate of the BJP, B.S. Yediyurappa. This is the home district of the tallest leader of the BJP in Karnataka right now. We have been standing. This whole area, if we speak about the Mumbai-Karnataka belt, the main issues which has been dominated in this whole electioneering, we have seen in the last at least a month. The important issues are the suicide of the farmers. This area basically is serving a completely parched and drought-hit area, and the people of this area, they have been fighting continuously to get the water of the Mahadai River. At least 5 of the districts which are sharing their boundaries with the neighboring Maharashtra and the Goa, they have been completely, what they are saying is that they have been completely neglected by the respective governments. Their issues has not been taken seriously so far, and they are completely fed up with the political system. And this time, what they are saying is that they want at least these issues of the agrarian crisis that should be resolved by whoever governments come to the power. But the important issue is, this is the important area. Badami constituency, as you have mentioned in the report, also is a very hot cake here.
Yes.
The tallest leader of the Congress party and the chief minister, Siddaramaiah, he is contesting against him, Sri Ramalu. He is also a rising star of the BJP. And the Hubli-Dharwad region, that is also in the Mumbai-Karnataka belt. The former chief minister and the leader of opposition in the Karnataka Assembly, Jagdish Shettar, he is contesting, he is continuously representing that constituency for the last 25 years. He is contesting this seat again. So this is all the top leaders of all the political parties, which includes the Congress president, the UPA chairperson, the prime minister, and the BJP president. They have campaigned here vigorously across the state, but this area, all the political leaders, they have given special attention, because what famous in the political arena of the Karnataka is that whoever dominates this area. In the last election, we have seen out of 50 seats, 31 seats were won by the Congress party, and they could successfully make the government. In the previous election, before that, in 2009 elections, BJP could manage to gain support from all the section of society in this area, and they could manage to form the government, and Yediyurappa was the chief minister at that time. Last election, Yediyurappa splitted his party, KJP was formed. That's why BJP could not make a good score in this area. But now, as Yediyurappa himself has been declared as the candidate for the chief minister's post, all the equations have been changed, and the Congress party is this time facing a big challenge from the BJP and also the JDS. Tina.
All right, Ravindra, many thanks for joining us with those details. Kriti, you stay with us. We'll come back to you in just a moment. Moving on to our next report. For voters in areas bordering forests in Hassan district of Karnataka, The election is not so much about roads and electricity as it is about relocating wild elephants. The human-animal conflict around Sakleshpur-Allur region of the district has claimed many lives. Hundreds of people in the villages have lost their crops to elephant raids. The Election Commission will set up 60 camps and provide additional security considering the elephant threat.
80-year-old Pruttamma in Sakleshpur of Hassan district of Karnataka breaks down at the mention of her daughter Vaishnavi. Last month, Vaishnavi was trampled to death by a wild elephant. The elephant suddenly appeared from nowhere and attacked her when she came out of the house to answer nature's call.
ಎದ್ದು ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದ್ಲು 6 ಗಂಟೆಲಿ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ 6 ಗಂಟೆಲಿ ಎದ್ದು ಹೊರಗಡೆಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದ್ಲು ಇವಳಿಗೆ ಓಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಂತ.
The sight of barbed wire fencing along the coffee estates to keep tuskers at bay is common in Hassan. Fragrance of coffee, orange and paddy attracts the herd to this area. Residents of many villages live in constant fear and move in groups. Many farmers have stopped cultivating their lands due to elephant raids.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಆನೆ ಇದೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಬಂದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಜನ ಓಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದೆ. 3 ಜನ ಅವರು ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ 2 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೇಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದರೂ ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ತಾಳ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಂಜರ್ ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ, ಇವತ್ತು ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
While the elephant menace is an issue here, conducting elections too is no less a challenge. The district administration has identified polling booths to provide additional security considering the threat. The forest department has been asked to ensure safety of voters.
There will be nearly about 80 people who will be deployed in these areas. They have established multiple camps. There are some 40 elephants and their movements are already tracked. So the moment we know that these elephants are coming to a particular area, they have a mechanism of warning people, and there is a system whereby the mass SMSs are sent to the people that the elephants is expected to come to this region. So that entire teams are being formed and sufficient preventive measures are being taken.
Such incidents were unheard of in the 1960s. Things changed when the Hemavati reservoir submerged more than 22,000 acres of land. Much of the pathway of the elephants went underwater. Subsequently, as the region developed, roads and railway lines too cut across the elephant corridor.
More than 150 people have been killed in last 3 years in this region by wild animals. Whenever an elephant kills someone, people protest, and in a knee-jerk reaction, the forest department takes some temporary steps. But this man-wild conflict needs more sustainable solutions. Reporting from Hassan with camera person Yogesh Agarwal, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And on to some other news now. Union Water Resources Minister Nitin Gadkari has expressed hope that Ganga will be 100% clean by December next year. He said before March next year, the government is aiming to clean the river by 80%. He also named 10 cities like Kanpur, Patna, Allahabad as the biggest polluters of the river. The government is working on a plan to clean the Ganga river by 70 to 80% by March next year. Water Resources Minister Nitin Gadkari says the river will be fully cleaned by December 2019.
2019 के मार्च तक हम 70 से 80% गंगा को निर्मल बनाने में निश्चित रूप से सफल होने का प्रयास करेंगे. मुझे लगता है यहाँ तक हमारा होगा और फिर उसके बाद मार्च के बाद एंड ऑफ दिसंबर तक हम ये कोशिश करेंगे कि हम 100% तक जाने की कोशिश करेंगे. मुझे पता है कि मई में चुनाव होने वाला है और मार्च तक ये काम करना है, इसलिए हमने बहुत से सुधार किए.
Gadkari said 97 cities are responsible for polluting Ganga. 10 of them are the largest contributors to pollution. These include Haridwar, Kanpur, Allahabad, Kolkata and Havra. Gadkari also revealed there are 1,809 industrial units and factories on the banks of the river that are adding to the pollution. Of these, 309 units have been ordered to be shut down. Kanpur's leather tanneries that release toxic chemicals into the river are the biggest challenge.
Unable to identify the drains polluting the Ganga, the government is now taking help from Google Maps.
नदी में गिर रहे एक MLD से ज़्यादा के 211 मुख्य नालों की पहचान की गई है। मैंने कहा गूगल से भी देखो नाले कहाँ आ रहे हैं। अब ये सच्चाई है कि हमको ना राज्य सरकार नाले की लिस्ट दे पाई, जैसे आदमियों की जनगणना होती है वैसे ये नालों की अभी भी जनगणना ठीक से नहीं हुई है। तो मैंने कहा गूगल का उपयोग करो और ढूंढो कहाँ नाले हैं। तो ये नालों को ढूंढना भी हमारा काम चालू है, इसीलिए प्रोजेक्ट में नए नए प्रोजेक्ट आ रहे हैं। तो 211 मुख्य नालों को अभी तक हमने ढूंढ लिया है।
The Water Resources Minister said the government has taken many steps to unclog the Ganga, like setting up treatment plants for water being released into the river, banning use of polythene and planting trees on the river banks. He also assured there will be no lack of funds for the Clean Ganga campaign. The minister said 250 crore rupees have been collected from common people in the Clean Ganga Fund. The Namami Gange project is a flagship program of the NDA government. It was started in 2014 after the NDA came to power. The project had a budget outlay of 20,000 crore rupees to rejuvenate the river. With inputs from Panchanan Mishra, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Senior-most Supreme Court Judge Justice J Chelameswar has written a letter to Chief Justice of India over elevation of Uttarakhand Chief Justice KM Joseph. In the letter sent late Wednesday evening, Justice Chelameswar asked the Chief Justice of India to convene a meeting of the collegium to urgently forward to the centre KM Joseph's name as the judge of the apex court. Reiterating his decision for the elevation of Justice Joseph, Justice Chelameswar said that there was no change in the circumstance that had led the collegium to recommend his name to the government on the 10th of January. Sources have revealed that the Supreme Court collegium is likely to meet tomorrow to reconsider Justice Joseph's name for elevation to the top court. The government on the 26th of April returned the collegium's recommendation to elevate Justice Joseph, seeking its reconsideration. Addressing the Indian diaspora in the Panama city, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu spoke at length on the new India being unveiled over the last 4 years. He reiterated that the Indian leadership under Prime Minister Modi is reaching out to different countries and regions of the world in pursuit of its vision for shared benefits. He also asserted that India is not in the race with any other country in this new and energetic global outreach. The Vice President further said the New India story will only gain momentum after more Indians join this journey with energy and enthusiasm. Praising Prime Minister Modi, the Vice President said never before has any Indian Prime Minister spoken about the country from a position of strength. With a view to give further impetus to bilateral relations with Nepal, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a 2-day visit beginning Friday. The focus of the visit is to create convergence on many issues, including economic cooperation and connectivity. From the 11th of May from Janakpur, the birthplace of Lord Ram's wife, Sita. The visit will recognize mutual cultural and religious connect between the two countries. After a grand welcome, the Prime Minister will visit the Janaki Temple along with Nepalese Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. He will inaugurate the Janakpur-Ayodhya bus service with a view to create the Ramayan circuit between India and Nepal. In Janakpur, a public felicitation of Prime Minister Modi will be held in the Budha Bigha ground. Organized by the local provincial government, led by the Madhesi Morcha and Nepal's central government, the gesture is aimed at dispelling any misgivings on the issue of Madhesis between the two countries. Modi and Nepalese Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli will have one-to-one and delegation-level talks on the 11th of May in Kathmandu. Both leaders are expected to review ongoing projects and discuss future cooperation in hydroelectricity, agriculture technology and research, besides the rail link between Kathmandu and Raxaul.
All the preparation has completed in Janakpur, and after that he is coming to Kathmandu also. There will be 2 facilitations, one in Janakpur and in Kathmandu, and there will be high-level talks between these two countries, between our Prime Ministers and Indian Prime Ministers.
On the second day of his journey, Prime Minister Modi will visit the Muktinath Temple in the Himalayas and the Pashupatinath Temple in Kathmandu. Prime Minister Modi will also meet Nepal's President, Vice President and other political leaders, including former Prime Minister of Nepal, to create consensus among political parties of Nepal about the future of bilateral relations.
In this visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Nepal, it is not important how many agreements are signed between the two countries. What is important that what level communication gap is being mitigated. And according to my information, the both prime ministers are talking continuously over phone also on some issues. So it is going to be an important milestone in the history of India-Nepal relations because both countries are giving priority to the development. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television with camera person D.K. Pandey in Kathmandu.
The government has initiated interministerial consultations on a draft ordinance to reverse the changes ordered by Supreme Court on Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act. The ordinance would state that the act would prevail in its original form. The government would follow it up with a constitution amendment bill in the monsoon session of Parliament, which would include the legislation in the 9th schedule of the Constitution, protecting it from future judicial interventions. The Supreme Court had on the 20th of March banned automatic arrests and registration of criminal cases under the Act. The Constitution bench of the Supreme Court has reserved its verdict on a batch of petitions challenging the validity of Aadhaar. The verdict was reserved by the Supreme Court after 38 hearings that stretched over nearly 4 months. A 5-judge Constitution bench directed all the parties concerned to file their written submissions to put forth their case. The Supreme Court on Thursday directed the National Highways Authority of India to open the Eastern Peripheral Expressway before the 31st of May. The 135-kilometer expressway from Kundli to Palwal is aimed at decongesting the national capital by providing signal-free connectivity between Ghaziabad, Faridabad, Greater Noida and Palwal. The Apex Court took exception to the expressway not being thrown open to the public, despite being informed earlier that it would be inaugurated by the 20th of April. A Supreme Court bench comprising Justices Madan Lokur and Deepak Gupta made it clear that if the Eastern Peripheral Expressway was not inaugurated on or before the 31st of May, it would be thrown open for public use as the national capital was already under traffic distress.
जो ईस्टर्न पेरिफेरल रोड है वो अभी पूरा नहीं हुआ है, उसमें एक रेलवे का आरओबी था वो इनकम्प्लीट है और अभी वो कंप्लीट होने के कगार पर है और इसके कारण प्रधानमंत्री ने तारीख भी दी थी पर हमको कार्यक्रम आगे लेके गए। अब वो पूरा क्लियर हो रहा है और प्रधानमंत्री से तारीख लेकर हम उसको तुरंत शुरू करेंगे, पर इससे डिले होने में प्रधानमंत्री का कोई संबंध नहीं है। संबंध हमारा काम पूरा नहीं हुआ था, इसलिए हमने उसको आगे के लिए पोस्टपोन किया था।
A prayer meet was organized on Thursday in the national capital to mourn the death of 22-year-old tourist in Kashmir this week. At the meeting, former Rajya Sabha MP Tarun Vijay called for strict action against the stone pelters. 22-year-old Thirumani from Tamil Nadu was killed on Monday after his vehicle was targeted by stone pelters in Budgam district.
It is not just a question of one young Tamilian, one young Indian. It's a question of the India's sovereignty. It's a question of the sanctity of Indian constitution, of Indian democracy, and of honor of Indian tricolor.
16 people died in a storm that hit parts of Uttar Pradesh on Wednesday. 27 others were injured in the storm that affected 9 districts in western Uttar Pradesh, including Etawah, Mathura and Aligarh. 7 houses were also damaged. The UP government announced compensation of 4 lakh rupees each to families of the deceased. Meanwhile, the Met Department issued a storm warning that could hit isolated places in eastern Uttar Pradesh on Saturday and Sunday. And on to some international news now. The venue and date for the much-awaited summit between US President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has been announced. The revelation has been made by US President Donald Trump. In a tweet, he said that his summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un will take place on the 12th of June in Singapore. The US President said that both leaders will try to make the meeting a special moment for world peace. The Israeli army confirmed on Thursday that it carried out widespread raids against Iranian targets in Syria on Wednesday night. Israel carried out the raids after around 20 rockets were fired from Syria at its forces in the occupied Golan Heights at around midnight. Israel also warned that it will not allow the Iranian threat to establish itself in Syria. While there has been no response from the Iranian side, Israel's military confirmed that dozens of Iranian military targets had been struck. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thanks for your time.